Hi everyone, welcome to this week's Halton Hills housing update. So we had a very big week last week. The numbers are super surprising and I am really excited to see where this sort of trends over the coming weeks. But looking at sales last week, we had 16 sales in Georgetown. That is our highest number since the start of July. So 2.5 months, sitting pretty consistent, 9, 10 sales. We had like one spike, I think, to like 13 or 14, and that was about it for the last 2.5 months. So 16 sales is a pretty big number, but on the other side of that, there was 19 new listings. So lots of stuff is hitting the market again. I think in August, we saw people taking it off, like I'm gonna relist in September. I mean, it's definitely had some spike in sales, so maybe that was a good decision for some of the sellers. But 19 new listings. Last time we started to see an influx of listings hitting the market, the buyers kind of put the brakes on because they wanted to sort of see what happened. They wanted to see if a better product came up. They wanted to see if the increase in inventory helped to bring prices down. So, I mean, this is really the first week where I would consider some big numbers in the Georgetown line. And so it's going to be really interesting how this fall market sort of transitions for the rest of September. But overall, like a pretty strong start, both seeing inventory coming up, but also seeing active buyers. So now in Acton, poor Acton, honestly, I can't believe how the market has just died there. There was 0 sales last week in Acton. It's crazy how the sales have completely dropped off in Acton. We had 3 new listings, so inventory is continuing to climb there. Like I talked about last week, when Georgetown's inventory is sitting higher and there's stuff to choose from, Acton feels the pinch. And the last like 6 to 8 weeks in Acton, the numbers are reflecting that people are opting for Georgetown over Acton right now. So prices, I think, are going to come down pretty hard in Acton. There's still some subdivision houses that are hoping to get like over $1 million in Acton. And I just don't think that the buyers are there when they can get a similar product in Georgetown for the same price. So it's going to be interesting to watch Acton. Glen Williams had 1 sale and no new listing. Nothing happened in Limehouse. And the rural market had 3 sales. That's crazy. That's a big week for rural and only 1 new listing. So overall, pretty strong sales week. We hit 20 sales in all of Halton Hills. So that's pretty good and definitely something we haven't really seen since May, June-ish. So now looking at active inventory, we are down again this week. Last week, we were at 154 active listings in all of Halton Hills, and we are down to 148 active listings. So definitely seeing that inventory just coming down. And so when the buyers are really active, that's what happens. I mean, they're buying stuff. So if we see those buyers sort of cool off, we're going to see that climb again. But like I said, at the start of summer, we were in the 190s. So this is a huge, huge decrease. And we've seen more listings coming up last week. So we may start to see that climb again. And this is just really fascinating to me because I just can't wait to see how this all pans out. I thought it would be quiet with the interest rate hike, but that wasn't the case. So let's see. In Georgetown this week, we are down from 94 to 93 active listings in Georgetown, our lowest number in months. And our price points, a few of them are up, a few of them are down. So under 800, it remained the same this week at 12 active listings. There's a couple freeholds in there, but mostly those are condo townhomes and condo apartments. 800 to $1 million is up slightly from 22 to 23 active listings. So not a big jump, but there's a lot available in that price range and there's some really good stuff. The stuff between 900 and $1 million is actually really attractive, but I think a lot of the people are waiting for it to come under 900 and I think it's going to happen. I do think so. So those 900 to $1 million, those are not moving as quickly, but anything under 900 is moving pretty quick if it's a decent product. 1 to 1.5 million, that saw the biggest drop this week from 33 to 27 active listings. A couple of them dropped under that million mark to 999, so that it shifted that price point up and brought the 1 to 1.5 price point down. But that price point was over 50 2 months ago. So they definitely are, I mean, as a seller in that price point, you're definitely happy because there's a lot less to compete with. The notable price point, 1.5 million plus, is somehow up to 31 from 27 active listings last week. People are not accepting what is happening in this market, especially in that price point. At no point should any subdivision home in Georgetown have been getting over $2 million. It is wild that like a basic house was getting like $2 million bucks. So now those people just can't grasp what 30% off of their $2 million is. And we have a lot of people over 1.5 million that, I'm going to be frank, their houses are way overpriced. No buyer is going to spend that kind of money on those kind of products when you can get better products under 1.5 for the people that are realistic with what they're listing their home at. So like, I just think we're going to see those houses continue to sit. And then the people that are, if you are listing your house at a realistic market value, it is selling. It is selling. And so people just need to reevaluate and they need to listen to feedback. I mean, I have clients in that pocket and I tell agents, this is $300,000 more than they would even consider spending on it. But the sellers just aren't there and they're not listening to it. So that pocket is going to be, I think, continuing to hurt with inventory unless the people really start to become realistic with what the prices have done. That's my little rant. Anyways, looking at Acton. So we were at 24 active listings last week. We're up to 26. Acton is not going backwards. Yeah, it's really hurting there. There was weeks in Acton where we literally had like 2 or 3 products available at the start of the year. Now we're at 26 and we can't have any sales in a week. So yikes. Glen Williams this week. This is coming down finally into where they normally are with inventory. Last week we had 8. We are down to 6 active listings in Glen Williams. There is not usually a lot available in Glen Williams, and we were sitting really high when inventory was sitting high, but things have been bought up and we are down to only 6 active listings in the Glen, which is a really comfortable level. Some of them are very expensive, but just a more comfortable level in the Glen. Limehouse remains the same at 2, and the rural market went from 26 to 21 active listings. So a big drop in the rural market inventory this week. Overall, I just think this was a really interesting week. Like from my numbers perspective, I do these every week, and then some weeks it just feels really interesting, and this week felt really interesting to me. We're seeing the trends of buyers actually participating in the market, which is kind of confusing considering interest rates went up, but new listings also hitting the market. So in the fall market, we always see lots of listings coming up, and we saw that through the transition we were in through the summer. But what we didn't see were buyers being active. And honestly, like I had multiple situations last week that had multiple offers. And so let's see what happens here. But I think it's a strong start to the fall market. Like buyers are active, listings are coming, and things are moving. It's when we get to that point where things aren't moving that it really starts to cause a lot of chaos in our market. So I will be back next Tuesday. Have a great week, everyone.